You're about to enjoy an It Takes Three Network podcast.
On the Upper East Side, all the world's a stage, and the men and women merely players. But once a year, Constant St. Jude students shed their usual roles and take on new ones for the senior class play. This year's pick? The Age of Innocence. Before Gossip Girl, there was Edith Wharton. And how little has changed. The same society's snobs still reign, only in corsets and horse-drawn carriages. Yay! Hi, guys! This is so exciting. Gossipanting. Welcome back to another episode of Three Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ant.
Yes, we have Ant here this week. He has never seen the series, doesn't know anything about it. We gave him...
The book,
oh, you read the book?
No, he's lying.
We gave him a in-depth briefing over on Patreon. So if you're a pledge, hopefully you took a listen to that. If not, you can check it out over there if you are interested. It was quite funny.
There was a lot of information.
There was a lot. I'm sorry.
No, you
okay.
did such a good job.
It was great. No, it was great.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So this week we watched season 2, episode 18, The Age of Dissonance. Original air date was March 16th, 2009. This is actually almost over a month from last episode. The last episode was February 6th or 2nd or 6th. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
It's so weird. And on OC, they were 1 month apart. I mean, totally different years, but...
Totally different years. Yeah, this is 2009.
Like an Easter Passover weekend thing.
Oh, maybe.
Could have been early.
Something.
What the heck do I know? I don't know.
Who the heck do I know? It was written by Robbie Hull and directed by Jim McKay. Summary for this episode is a quite long one. The seniors put on a production of The Age of Innocence and find their personal lives mirroring the play. Serena develops a crush on the play's director, Julian, and enlists Vanessa's knowledge of theater to help her get his attention. Blair receives devastating news about her future that leads her on a witch hunt for the person responsible. Dan and Rachel agree to stay away from each other, but find the promise hard to keep. Meanwhile, Chuck tries to help a new friend, but has to involve a rival from his past. So I didn't mention Carter in our briefing.
No.
One, because I didn't want to spoil who the return was.
Okay,
for me.
From Michelle.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also, you don't really learn much about him in this episode anyway, but he is a rival of Chuck's. They're both wealthy kids. They don't like each other. They butt heads quite often. Fun fact, at this point, him and Leighton Meester, who plays Blair, are in a relationship. So it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So to reiterate our 3 past words, the 3 gossip words from last week, play, return, and misunderstanding now is coming to a head, right?
Yeah,
you understand my words?
100%, obviously, play.
Yes.
The return of Carter, and everybody's just misunderstanding everybody.
Exactly.
Sure.
I didn't have a pinpoint of misunderstanding. Of course, in this episode, Nate Tessa have a big misunderstanding. Elle has a misunderstanding with Chuck.
Chuck has a misunderstanding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's all misunderstandings. Before we get into the episode, as always, I wanted to tell you guys what the Glassful of Gossip is this week. I decided to name it the Pretentious Asshat. And what I did was I literally just put frozen fruit in water because I felt like that was a bougie water, and someone who's really pretentious would drink water with fruit in it. They couldn't just drink plain water.
Yeah.
So
True.
that was my thought.
Okay.
I could have
good
went really over the top with something, but that's all I had on my resources. You know, we're quarantined here, so that's my Glassful of Gossip for the week.
It's good. I like it.
Okay, I'm glad. So we're going to start out the episode Gonna pretty much do what's happening in school, and then I'll save Chuck for later on because he's really in his own complete world here.
Yeah, and this episode, I was saying to Aunt, it didn't really jump around a lot. It's pretty much Chuck's storyline and then school.
Yeah. Right, which was helpful for me to wrap up my notes, you know?
Right.
What do you think the A storyline was? Was it Chuck or was it the play?
I would guess the play.
I guess, yeah.
With the bigger storyline is what he asked?
Yeah, the A storyline, you know, like the A, B, and C.
Yeah, the play is definitely the A. Even last episode, this was Chuck's, he had like a separate story from everyone else really too. They're kind of keeping him on the side for now. But we'll get into it. We start out at school. It's required at Constance and St. Jude's to have a senior play. None of the kids want to do it, but this is a requirement. Ridiculous.
The thing is, none of them want to do that, but they all can act.
Yeah, they all act.
I know. Like, none of them were, bad. None of them were portraying being an actor in a bad way.
Right.
So, you know? Like, they were just acting how they normally would.
Except for Nate. Nate was bad. He was a bad actor.
Right. But he also didn't give a shit.
Clearly he didn't care. Yeah.
So the play that they are putting on is The Age of Innocence. Headmistress Queller apparently got this big mucky muck producer, Julian, to come in and do the play for the children because they're going to have some critics come to the show. So it's kind of an important deal. Nate mentions that Chuck's not coming because he got a doctor's note for acute stage fright.
Yeah, right.
That's why he wasn't there.
That's why he wasn't in the play.
Yeah.
While we're getting ready, Blair is discussing with Serena how perfect her life is now, and Blair is getting nauseous at the fact that she'll have to be opposite Padge in this play. She can't stand Padge.
Yes.
And this sparks up a conversation on Serena and her trying not to think of Dan, and her only way of doing that is by now having this crush on Julian. And Blair's like, what's with you and the brooding artist? It's like, this is a third one now. We have Dan, who loves to write. Then we had Aaron, who was a painter. And now Julian, a playwright. So it's like, she obviously has a type. And all brunettes.
Clearly. All brunette.
Yes. All of a sudden, we hear a scream in the other room. Nelly Yuki is making a scene that she got an early acceptance to Yale. And Blair is obviously perplexed by this because generally only one student from Constance gets an acceptance from Yale. And now we already know Dan has an acceptance from Yale. So I guess they were allowing another student. Obviously, it was supposed to be Serena. Then they gave it to Blair. And everything that happened with Blair, now she lost her spot, and now Nelly Yuki has the spot to Yale, and Blair is like, I'm sorry, what has happened here?
Yeah.
So she runs up to Headmistress Queller. Unfortunately, the headmistress had to inform her that they did resend her acceptance to Yale due to an anonymous caller tattling on the reason why she got detention in the first place. And now, remind you, Anne, she got detention for starting this rumor that happened to turn out to be true in the end. But while it was happening, it wasn't true. And so
Yeah, she
the
made
slander
it
got her.
It was a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. They also say hazing a faculty member is a very serious offense.
No shit.
And there isn't anything that Queller can do. And so at that point, Blair heads on stage in a depression. But we go back out to the auditorium where Jenny is actually volunteering to do costumes for the play. Dan is like slumped down in a chair, and Julian's yelling at him like, go backstage, what are you doing? And in walks Rachel Carr. And all the teachers are whispering about her, and Dan is witnessing this, and it's obviously upsetting to him. And then it's revealed that Vanessa is doing a documentary on the play, and she comes backstage, and so we kind of get Vanessa involved in this too. Because Dan sees how upset Rachel is and how awkward it is in the auditorium, he then gets his sister to give Rachel a note. This was awful. Big mistake number one.
Stupid.
And I'm like, wait, why can't they text each other? But then I'm like, maybe it's evidence. I don't know.
No, because how would anybody go through any of their phones?
Yeah, send her a letter.
But I guess the letter fit the whole play.
Yeah.
And this pretentious lifestyle we live in Gossip Girl.
Exactly. I guess that's true. It just fit with the theme of Gossip Girl. So he gives Jenny a letter. She goes and distracts the teachers by talking to Rachel and hands her the letter. Jenny waits for her to give her the envelope back, in which she has slipped her apartment key into. She wrote back a letter and slips the key into the envelope.
But his letter, he's like, we need to talk. And it's written in cursive.
It's like we need to talk alone.
Where and when. And it just reminded me in school when you get notes, like circle yes, circle no, will you be my boyfriend?
It's exactly what it looked like.
This is so dramatic.
I know. And so then to make it even more dramatic, they're rehearsing the play and Jenny sees Rufus there, goes up to him and happens to, of course, drop the note on the floor, in which Rufus picks up, reads it. I don't know if he read Padge's side, but he definitely read Rachel's side, where it says,
for sure.
Meet me tonight at my apartment. Here's the key. And Jenny is like, oh shit, we're in trouble.
Silly.
Then, he said,
Sorry.
oi.
No, I said silly, but yeah, oi, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
silly.
Oi's good too, yeah, like oi.
So then we have a quick scene where Blair goes up to Nellie and she is yelling at her, thinking that Nellie is the culprit for tattling on her because Nellie wanted the spot to Yale. And she's like, everyone's jealous of me. And Nellie is like, whoa, nobody's jealous of you. Everyone hates you. You're evil and nobody likes you. And while it wasn't me, I'm kind of glad that this happened.
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of people that would love to take you down and see you fail.
Right. And so there's a Gossip Girl blast that goes off, and it reveals this old secret that Blair has been keeping, where, to give Aunt a refresher, she used to date this lord who was having an affair with his father's new wife.
But that wife was also sleeping with Nate.
Wow.
Yeah,
like,
it's a hot mess. And so Blair
lord.
found out about it.
What's a lord?
A lord, exactly. Of course, Blair would find a lord, right? So Blair, Blair finds out about this and has kept it a secret, but now the blast has went off, and Blair immediately thinks the only other person that knows about this is Vanessa. So she goes to hunt down Vanessa while Serena is speaking with her, and it was really funny because Serena's asking Julian for help, and he's like, yeah, nice try, Sabrina. Like, he has no idea who she is.
Yeah.
Cracked me up. So Vanessa is videotaping, and Serena reveals to her that she does have a crush on Julian, and she's kind of asking for her help in getting him to notice her because Vanessa's very affluent in the play and
movies,
right?
All of that,
and movies. Right. And so Blair comes running over and tries to confront Vanessa, in which Vanessa has, like, no part of speaking with her. She's like, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to walk away. And Blair's like, why are you talking to her? We're not friends with her. To Serena. And Serena's like, well, she's my friend. You need to relax. And so Blair threatens her and says, well, I have it out for her, and you don't want to get caught in the crossfires of that. That was...
That's a warning. Warning shot.
Exactly. Watch out.
Yeah.
We can go to the restaurant where Serena had mentioned to Julian that they should go out after the play rehearsals for dinner. And so it happens to be like a double date, sort of, where it's Vanessa and Nate, Serena and Julian. And Julian is a pretentious asshat, and he just is talking about himself and how he loves this and that. And Nate gets up to leave, and Julian's like, wait, we're going to discuss, more about the play. And Vanessa's like, okay, so she can't leave. And Vanessa thinks he's pretentious, of course. And so then Serena persuades Vanessa to help her. She and Julian have this, like, date, and now she needs Vanessa's help.
Yeah, and the date is to go over lines.
Go over lines, exactly.
Yeah.
We can go to the next day. At the loft, Dan asks Jenny if Rachel has responded to his letter, in which she has to inform him that Rufus has it. And Rufus shows up to Rachel's very angry and returns the key and pretty much says nothing. She's in shock. He's in shock and like leaves.
She was
Really
also
bad.
setting the scene for some hanky panky. She's lighting candles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, I need
she
to
was
see
ready.
you.
She was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
Thirsty,
Rufus tells
thirsty.
Dan she's thirsty. Oh, she's so thirsty.
Thirsty. Midwest
Yeah.
thirsty.
Midwest thirsty.
Then in the morning, Rufus tells Dan that it's over between him and Rachel, in which Dan says that he's 18 and he can make his own decisions and let Rachel make her own decisions and we'll keep it at that, and angrily leaves. We go to the Vanderwoodsons where Serena and Julian are rehearsing for the play while Vanessa is in an earpiece for her, giving her the information she needs. And as Vanessa's on the phone, Nate happens to come in. He hears her say something, oh, how Julian's so great, and assumes that she's on the phone with Julian and that she's into him and they're seeing each other.
Yeah, I mean, assumes, but like literally, like I don't know what else you would want him to think. You know, like
Right.
I know that like that's like you guys are kind of like, oh, you shouldn't like.
No,
just
because I'm
assume
like,
or
oh,
whatever.
look at this typical thing
A
happening.
misunderstanding, but like she said, oh, you're so right, Julian. Like almost talking directly to him. Obviously, like what is he gonna think? If I heard
Right.
you talking a bit like saying, like, oh, Liz, you're so right, I would think you're talking to Liz.
You're right.
No, that's
But
true.
you could
And
be talking
also,
to Randy, talking to Liz.
Right.
And I wouldn't know that.
right, sidebar, this has nothing to do with the episode, but I've always wanted to do this.
Oh, like be in someone's ear and give them
Yeah,
information?
On a date. Yeah, and help someone on a date. Be like, wow, your eyes are beautiful. Wow, your eyes are beautiful.
Okay. Someone get Michelle on
Let me
the
be your
job.
Let me be in your ear.
As Serena and Julian are rehearsing, her phone goes off and it's a Gossip Girl blast, another one. And it's a secret that Serena got into Yale only because they were allowed to do a press release on her and give them the publicity of having a Vanderwoodson. And so she's like, ugh, all scattered, and they end up leaving to go to the play. We go to school, and backstage, Blair is very upset. Dorota is saying to use her pain on stage. And as she's talking, Serena comes in, and she blames Blair for this Gossip Girl blast because Blair and Dan are the only two people that would know this secret. And she knows it's not in Dan's nature to reveal this. And so Blair's like, I didn't do it. And Serena doesn't believe her, of course. So then now Blair believes that Dan is the culprit of all of the Gossip Girl blasts.
Naturally.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know. We have a quick scene where Dan wants to talk to Rachel in private. They decide to go into some prop closet and he can't help himself. This is so Gossip Girl. And us staying away from each other cannot last. And they do whatever they do in the closet, whatever.
They
Next.
okay,
Sexy
wait. We have to take a moment and talk about this because he's like, I can't help myself, and he moves her charm bracelet and then
Yes.
starts kissing the palm of her hand.
Her like wrist.
And all I
Yeah.
can think about is like, you don't know where that hand has been. Social distance.
Ew,
I know,
like,
right?
especially
Isn't
now,
it?
like,
And
never-
you're doing green social distancing in everything that you're watching.
and
Yeah.
also like never kiss a hand.
Yeah, gross. The palm of the hand. Like,
Ew.
Palm, even
but like
the
why the
palm.
palm? Like, oh my god.
oh my
And
God,
then
your
we
palm.
just had like these zooms of them making out, like 3 zooms in, and I was like,
I know, unnecessary.
Why
Like
are
the
we
slow zooms. Like they
Yeah.
kiss, but then they kiss again, and
Yeah.
then they kiss again.
yeah, like let's get it, yeah.
So unnecessary. But
Yes,
typical
again,
Gossip Girl.
Again.
Now we can go to the play, which I have been dying to have everyone watch this part of the episode, and I hope that it translates to you guys as funny as it did for me. So we'll start out with the awkward passes between Blair and Dan, and Nate is annoyed by Julian, and they have like the first scene, and then Julian criticizes Nate's acting, in which he's upset about because he says to Nate that he doesn't understand what it's like to have nothing and be broke. And Nate's like in his head like, dude, I just was for months. You have no idea. But he takes that and goes, and Vanessa's like, wait, where were you? You were supposed to meet me and pick me up. And he's just like, I have to go. So she's like, okay, you're standing me up now. Like, I don't understand what had happened. So on stage, we have a funny scene of Blair and Dan in some like trolley, and she's whispering to him as they're like trying to act, but she's whispering, and then he says a line, but then he whispers, and funny. They have this really funny long kiss, quote, kiss.
Yeah. It was a good job on their part to fake it.
Right? And so they're arguing and the music's going crazy. I just like this part's so funny. And so then Blair says to Dan that he's the only one who knew all of the secrets and the signs are pointing to him. And all of a sudden Dan has this like realization and looks in the audience like, oh shit, Rachel knows everything that I have said.
Yep.
And then we have my favorite part of the whole episode where, you know, Serena comes on, she like kisses Blair but like knocks her over a little bit, and Blair says that everyone's out to destroy her, and then Nate like breaks character and says like, look, I know what it's like to be poor, and my dad it was in jail, and we had the fraud, and pretentious asshat's trying to steal my girlfriend. And then Nellie says like she hates her fat suit, while Dan is still keeping up in funny. His stupid British accent. He's like, oh, this is interesting. I just thought the whole thing was just so hysterical. And if it's been a while since you guys have watched this episode and you're just recapping with us, go back and watch this scene because it is so funny.
They say you've been abroad, right?
Yes, I've, He's always had trouble with his bar. You know, whatever. You want feelings? Well, I hate these clothes, I hate this play, and I hate pretentious asshats who try and steal other people's girlfriends. In fact, I might just spontaneously punch one next time you get in my face.
I know just how Mr. Beaufort feels. Working so hard for something.
I've seen it in this week alone now 4 times, and I still just crack up every time because it's so, like I was telling Aunt before we watched, I'm like, this episode is a very quintessential Gossip Girl episode because everyone is their selves, and then they reveal all of their secrets and like what's pretty much been going on in their lives for months. And so it's like, oh, this is just literally a continuation of everything that has happened. You don't even really need to watch an episode to know what they're going through because they tell you on the stage. So I just think it's really funny.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad. That's why I thought when you said, hey, should Ant come on? I'm like, actually, yeah, this would be a really good episode because he kind of should know something, but you really don't need to know.
Yeah, it was like a good thing, like all
like a recap,
recap,
almost like a bottle kind of thing, but it wasn't quite a bottle.
Right, exactly. So the play is over and everyone loves it. The critic even says it's great. He's like, I love the way that you did the first scene, so traditional, and then the second scene, you were inspired by these kids, and Julian is so fake and takes credit for what the kids have said on the stage, and so all of them are annoyed with him. And then Serena says, I can't believe I actually had a crush on you. In which he replies, Serena, I'm gay.
Which Ant figured out. He's like, this guy's totally gay.
Yeah, I knew. I didn't say it out loud, but like, I knew it. It was obvious.
Yeah.
Right. After the play, Vanessa goes to see Nate in the dressing room, and he's upset because he believes that she has feelings for Julian, and she's so confused. And she's like, wait, this is a misunderstanding. And then instead of kind of making up, Nate says, we're from 2 different worlds. It makes sense that you like the arts and I like ESPN and like we're different. And she's like, you haven't even tried. And then she says a quote that he's like a child who thinks they don't like tomatoes but has never actually tried one. And so I'm like, yeah, I guess that is Nate. You know, he's kind of stuck in his ways a little bit.
A new soul.
He's a new soul.
You can tell Nate is a new soul.
Right. He's totally a new soul.
Out of the womb.
Yes.
Fresh out of the womb, soul-wise. The soul womb.
Soul womb. After that, this part made me crack up because Dan pulls Rachel aside, but all he does is pull her on the other side of a prop. And there's other people on the other side of the prop. So I'm like, why are you trying to hide here? There's other people. Whatever. He confronts her about the blast, and she doesn't deny it. She said Blair made her life hell here, and he compares her to the girls he goes to school with and says, like, you're just as bad as all of them. And she won't apologize for what she's done. And then he says like he's so disappointed in her and he leaves. Then he goes up to Blair and says to Blair, it was Rachel. We just had sex in the coat closet, so like you could use that for ammo if you really wanted to. Blair goes over to Rachel, says, oh, I heard you just had sex in the coat closet. I'm going to use that against you. And Rachel says she doesn't know what has become of her. And in the chat on the Netflix party, we were talking, and Sean and Mike and everyone's like, yeah, it's like the city and Blair, like everyone has affected Rachel in such a quick amount of time, and she's becoming just as bad as the girls that she teaches. And so Blair is hearing this and is kind of having like a realization too, like, oh, I'm just like that, and yeah, it sucks, and now I'm being punished, and Yale has been taken away from me. And I think at that moment she kind of has like a turning point in her life from now on.
I also like the point where Padge says the difference, though, is Blair's a teenager, she's a student, and you're an adult.
Right.
And you should know better.
Yeah.
You should
and yet
know better.
You still did this.
And you're fresh out of your 20s.
What?
You're fresh in your 20s.
Right.
Adult.
Yeah.
You know.
She's at least 23. Let's just
Right.
say.
I know. Like, just
No, but the thing is,
I
for
look back to
Padge to
23
say that is
myself.
like he's a high schooler, so you look at someone in their 20s, you're like, you're an adult. But
Yeah.
we know, like, when we're 23, like, we weren't really adults.
Yeah,
Right.
I was not
We were
an
like,
adult.
adult, you
Yeah,
know.
I was like a quote unquote adult. I had a job
Yeah,
and I engaged Mitchums.
you did engage me.
Oh, yeah, you do. Oh, my
Shit,
God.
at
You were
23.
23? Shit, man.
Yes, 23 years old.
God, Aunt.
God. Yeah, because, wow.
So I guess I was an adult. Never mind. I take everything back.
Everyone's different, but the fact
Yes.
that it's how embarrassing for her to hear from a student, someone
Yeah,
younger than her, like you're just as
An
bad as all the
18-year-old.
rest
Yeah,
of them.
like if at 23 an 18-year-old said like grow up, I'd be
Right?
Like, what the
And
fuck
you
You'd
is
just
be
this?
had sex
embarrassed.
with that
Shit.
person, too.
Yeah.
Like, they
It's
just had sex.
embarrassing.
Because Dan's
Yeah.
all, you know, oh, I feel bad for you and I feel for you. I have to make sure you're okay. And we just can't help ourselves. Let me kiss your palm.
Sure. Let me kiss your palm.
Let me kiss
Let me kiss your palm. And then
Heart
did
of
you guys
palm.
catch that he was even just spinning her bullshit from the play because those were his lines in the play.
Yeah, because I noticed
Yeah.
that he was
Yeah.
kissing the palm, you know, like afterwards.
So
I was
it
like,
wasn't
oh,
even
that's
creative. It's like he didn't even put any thought in there.
weird. Yeah. Wow.
So while all of the rest of the students are working on this play, Chuckaroo has gotten out of it. We start out the episode with him going to sit at a restaurant. He bumps into an associate of his father's, Mr. Campbell. Before he can sit down at his table, his arch nemesis, Carter Bazin, is eating there. And eating with a female, none other than Elle, the woman who he tried to save pretty much last episode from these, quote, bad guys. And she ran away, and so he didn't know where she went and didn't know if she was okay. So she's eating with Carter, and she says, no, my name's Haley. I don't know what you're talking about. And he pleads for her to be safe, and he's like, I'm just trying to help you out. You shouldn't be hanging out with Carter. He's not good. And she excuses herself to go to the bathroom, in which Carter and Chuck have it out. And this gentleman comes over and says, your date has left through the kitchen. She's escaped.
Yeah.
Later on, we're at the Vanderwoodsons. Chuck arrives home to find Elle there, and she asks him for help. Has been on the road running from these men, and she needs his help, and she needed Carter's help because she knew that he had money and wants to escape and get a new passport. And so Chuck's like, of course, I'll do anything to help you. So he calls Carter because he's good at crossing borders, gets her this passport. She goes in the limo with Carter, and he shows Chuck that he has the tattoo symbol of the Gentleman's Club. And so now Chuck's like, oh shit, she's in bad hands. And they
Yeah.
got everything that they were looking for to begin with, and says, we'll take care of her. And so Chuck's like, oh shit. So he asks Mr. Campbell then to come back to his house and then talk about the Gentleman's Club. Mr. Campbell says he doesn't know anything about it and he can't help him. Chuck threatens to get the cops on him, in which later on he says he can't say anything, but then he gets a text of a location.
Which doesn't make any sense. Because
Right.
what he's afraid somebody's listening to them. Like then they can read his text messages.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I also
true.
didn't think that made any sense. But
It
who
doesn't.
knows? Maybe he thinks there's camera. Maybe the Vanderwoodsons have cameras in their home
Could
or
be, I guess. but
something.
then
Oh,
why
true.
Why wouldn't
The
his phone be
authorities. That's what he
being-
kept saying. I'll have to get the authorities.
Yeah, the authorities. Who
Who are the authorities?
Who are the
Yeah.
authorities?
I thought that was strange too. So to sum up what's happening with Chuck, he meets at this location and Elle happens to be there. This is also very confusing. And she's like, oh shit, Chuck, hey. He's like, you're okay. And she's like, yeah, they just gave me money, told me to keep quiet and I have to leave. And so he's like, all right, like, let's go to Sao Paulo. And she's like, no, I'm going by myself. You've been nice and all, but like, yeah, she was just using him for his money. And he got her the passport that she needs, and now she's going to peace out. And so she tells him that he's sweet and that he should invest his emotions in someone that he actually cares about. I'm like, what? And this whole time, he's like, I care about Elle. I care about Elle. I'm like, why?
I know.
Yeah,
What
why?
is
It's like
I
he
don't get
fell
it.
so hard just to take care of this one person who's new to his life.
Yeah, it
was
just was
weird.
strange. It's a strange plot there.
Yeah.
So to wrap up everyone's night, Vanessa goes over to Nate's with snacks and she apologizes, and Nate's watching the Age of Innocence. He's actually like tearing up. He's like, this is so heartbreaking. They cuddle on the couch. Everything is all right with them. We go to the loft where Dan apologizes to Rufus and admits that Rachel wasn't who he thought she was. Shocker.
Right.
And while he appreciates Rufus helping, he wants to make his own mistakes. Later on, Jenny gives Dan a letter from Rachel in which it states she's going back to Iowa and, he's a good kid and, she enjoyed her time with him pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shock.
Thanks for the D. I'm out of here.
Yep.
Peeing in the vagine.
Peeing in the vagine.
Yep, that's it. That's all she wanted. She was thirsty, as you said, Anne.
Yeah, thirsty.
Then we get the last two scenes. We're at a bar. Blair is wallowing and drinking. Serena finds her and she says that she's sorry. She knows it wasn't her that sent out the blast. Blair admits that she would have 9 times out of 10 done this, and it's right for Serena to think that she's the bad person that everyone else does. And so you can tell that Blair is definitely like down in the dumps, and she knows that Yale denying her is karma for everything that she's done in her life. And so she tells Serena to go, and then Serena says, but I still love you. You're still my best friend. And then quickly, Chuck arrives. He took Elle's advice. Chuck arrives to go to see Blair, in which we know she's at the bar, so she's not home. Dorota says she's not home yet. He says, okay, I'll wait for her. So he's like waiting.
Like, we're doing this
see her.
again, and not for nothing, but this is what made you turn.
Sad sack loser.
No, but
I know.
this one person, this woman that you just met, is like, oh, you have a good heart. Give it to someone who deserves it.
But she said it in like a nasty way.
I know, but like you
Right.
don't understand. Like him and Blair have been like the people in the play. Like we can't be together.
Well, like-
not right now. And
I think he needed somebody new who like he could be maybe create this like new personality around. So like he wants to break out of who he was.
Right.
So he was ready to dump it into like some random person.
Love that, Aunt. That's a great way of interpreting it, because to me, I'm just like, I'm not thinking deeply into it, but really you should, because I feel like from this moment on, and maybe you'll feel differently, but I hope as we watch this episode, I feel kind of turns things around, at least for Chuck and Blair. And I'm not just saying for them together wise. I think just character wise, they both come to like realizations like, oh, I'm shitty and I should change.
Oh, that's good.
that is good.
Yeah. So to sum up the last scene, Blair is drinking by herself. We know Chuck's waiting for her at the house, but she's there. And Carter comes in. She's like, oh, hey, Carter, what are you doing here? And he ends and says, I'm buying you a drink. And
puts
comforts
his
her. Puts his hand on her lap.
knee.
Don't like that. Too close.
Too close. Now, okay, wait.
Is that not okay?
No, that's not okay.
It's hard because you haven't seen any development as far as like Carter in the group of
Right.
friends.
Right.
Is that where you were going with, like,
Yeah, because I'm
comfort?
like, does Carter and Blair have a history?
That Carter has a history with the group, and that will be kind of more developed a little bit throughout at least the end of the season into next, but he does have relationships with them, or he has had in the past. So
Okay.
they will go into that more.
Okay.
But that's where we end the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
in the chat, people were saying that if it wasn't for the part of the play, that this episode would have just been like, nah. Which
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree with
it's-
that too.
It was a very typical filler-ish sort of episode. Rachel leaves, and now we kind of have this like transition of Blair with the karma. Now she's realizing she's a shitty for once in her life, she's realizing she's a shitty person and she should probably change. So on that note, we'll take a break and come back with our segments and our questions. Very excited.
Yes.
Yay.
Seth Cohen,
Brooke Davis.
Blair Waldorf.
Sound familiar?
It Takes Three Network houses shows surrounding your favorite nostalgic teen dramas. Whether you are watching for the first time or you're binging for the 5th time, you'll definitely want to check us out.
You can listen to Tree Hill Talk, Let's Talk OC, and 3 Gossip Girls on your preferred listening platform. And for more information, visit ittakes3network.com.
Three, two, one.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed your break. We sure did.
Yes.
Actually, tonight, Michelle, Aunt, and I are viewing each other via Skype. Michelle and I have been recording via Skype audio, and now tonight we tried it a little different so we could see each other. I think it's working out well because now we can like read each other's body language a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How come you guys
it's
don't do the
nice.
video more often?
I don't know. We just
I don't know.
never
just
thought
did
of it.
And you know what, Liz? When I record just with you, I'm facing that way. I'm not even looking at the computer because I have my laptop set up on a stool and I bring the mixer closer. So it's not a very comfortable. This is
Yeah.
much nicer.
Oh, I'm
Just have to
glad. Yeah, this is a
reposition.
little bit much more comfortable for me too because
Yeah.
the mic is like directly in front of me and I'm not like
Yeah.
all contorted.
Yeah.
So we'll start with a little bit of trivia. The episode is based off of the movie The Age of Innocence, if we couldn't already guess. If you want a spoiler, this is the last appearance of Rachel Carr. So she's on the island.
Bye.
Bye, beach.
Bye, boy, bye.
Boy, bye. And finally, the episode takes place on March 6th and March 7th, 2009, a month after. And then I guess for the audience, it was a month later. And also in the show, it's supposed to be a month later.
Interesting.
So maybe they were rehearsing
They don't
for the
really
play
talk
then.
about that, though.
Okay, but this actually makes more sense because the fact that we open up and they're in a play, I'm like, we had no idea that these guys were going to do a play.
Yeah, wait.
Right.
Was Julian, he wasn't in an episode previous?
No.
That guy? So,
No.
like, yeah, he was just, like, fresh in. So
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense that there's been, like, a month.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was it. They were, like, balls deep in a play, and it had just seemingly just popped into existence.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I guess it makes sense. Some music in this episode, we have Hong Kong Garden by Susie and the Banshees, North London Trash by Razor Light, Carmen Act 2, La Fleur que de Mavis, Jeté by Jose Carreras.
The best part is having mispronounced music.
And Kiss Me at the Gate by the New Monarchs.
There was definitely a concerto in there.
I know. They didn't list a concerto on the wiki page, though. So if you guys know which concerto was playing, I feel like I'm not cultured enough. I know the song that they play,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell you the name of it. Let's go over to Instagram because our friend Fassel has a little goof that I also found, but I wanted to give him credit for it because I miss Fassel and
I know.
he hasn't been on Gossip Girl in a while. So he says, "Hi guys, I have a goof for tonight's Gossip Girl episode. When Dan is with Rachel in the locker room, he is holding first with the left arm. Then, after the cut, he is holding the right arm and then with the left arm again. I guess holding her hand.
Palm.
Her palm.
Her palm. Thank you, Fassel.
So thank you, Fassel. We can go over to Mrs. Boquist on Instagram, our friend Jess. She said, "Hi, ladies. Last week you asked what it was about Sag that the OG listeners liked. It's not so much that I'm a huge Sag fan. They are definitely not my favorite ship of the show. But honestly, thinking throughout the series, I am not sure that I liked either of their other significant others, that they dated more than I liked them together. So alas, I will root for Sag, sigh." Also, last week, someone asked if there were any similar Padge car situations at your school. There was one at my school with a male ESL teacher and a girl in my grade. She wasn't ESL, and I am not sure how they connected. It was definitely confirmed after graduation, but I don't believe the teacher was ever fired or anything. Ew.
Whoa.
Yeah. In terms of tonight's episode, The Age of Dissonance, I never understand why this is a senior requirement to graduate, but Chuck is not there to participate. He's a senior too. Nate mentions to Dan that he can't believe Chuck got a doctor to diagnose him with acute stage fright so he wouldn't have participated. So ridiculous. Also, with all the car drama, why does Serena think it's a good idea to act on a crush she has on their drama teacher? Seriously. That's so true, Jess. Great point. Like, he's older. Maybe she's 18 at this point, but still, like, let's learn our lesson here.
And he was hired in, right? He's not the drama teacher.
No,
at the
he's not the
school?
drama teacher. He's just
he's
like
the
a
director.
rando,
So maybe that's why.
I guess.
Yeah, he's just off the streets.
Off the
Yeah.
streets.
But still, I guess, you know, Serena's used to getting what she wants, so I'm
Right.
sure she's like, oh, I could just try it.
Sure.
She also says, I love when Nate breaks the fourth wall in the play and relates to his character, and it sets off everyone else breaking their character. It makes me laugh every time. Favorite quote, Blair. Do you know how hard it is to get revenge when your enemy is changing every 5 minutes? That's all from me. Sorry it was so long. And then she has some 3 gossip words that she thought were good ideas for next week. So thank
Awesome.
you, Jess.
Thank you, Jess.
We'll head over
Thank
to
you.
Muse Chick on Instagram, our friend Vic. She said, so glad I was at the Netflix party. This was a very interesting welcome to the very dramatic world of Gossip Girl, Anthony, don't you think?
Yeah, you know, it was tying up storylines, so of course there was going to be some drama.
Definitely. She says, it was really funny like you said, Liz. The part with Blair and Padge had me laughing so hard. I can't believe Rachel was the one who sent everything. Even after she got her job back, she was still bitter and used everything Padge told her. That was a shady move. I can't believe Serena was into the director. Even apart from being gay, he was so into himself, which is such a turnoff. That's true. Oh my God, that misunderstanding with Natessa, although it was so funny when Nate messed up the play on purpose and he did have that small stupid fight with Vanessa, I was so happy they made up. I think it's sweet that she wanted to watch ESPN and he was watching the movie The Age of Innocence. Oh my God, that bitch turned out to be Renee from One Tree Hill. She's heartless. She's referring to Elle.
Yeah.
That scene where Blair and Serena was so sad. I said it before, I hate when they fight. And no Carter and Blair. Ugh, she's so vulnerable right now. Sucks she isn't going to Yale now. Can't give you MVP, but shittiest is Rachel. Ugh, all of a sudden. She definitely knows what Gossip Girl is. Glad she is gone. Why do you think Serena was so quick to believe it was Blair? Is it because she said betrayal was in her nature, or because she had fought with Blair earlier when she told her she'd be collateral damage if she stood by Vanessa?
Because she's Blair.
Right.
Yeah,
None of this
simply.
is shocking. This is
Yeah,
something
you-
Blair would definitely do.
Yeah, I only just
Totally.
met Blair, and I totally would think that.
Yeah, she does this shit all the time.
Exactly.
Clearly, they're in this mess. You know, one
Because
of the big
of her.
messes. Yeah.
Right. She says, do you think Blair will actually sleep with Carter?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Carter seems to be a winner.
Oh, Aunt likes Carter.
Interesting.
He said
Yeah.
Chuck's a loser and he likes Carter.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
She also says, Anthony, Do you have a character you liked right now after seeing them? Who do you like the least? Ironically.
Okay, yeah, we just answered that. Really, kind of. I like Carter, and I dislike Chuck.
What do you think about the females?
I don't know.
No, off mic, you said you liked
Who did I like?
Blair.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I did like Blair. Yeah.
I had a
That's
feeling
true.
he might like Blair.
Yeah, why not? She's
Yeah.
like whatever. She owned, she owns who she is, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. She doesn't always, but in this episode,
In this
she
episode,
did.
she did because you know
Right.
obviously things came to an end. Little annoying story.
What do you think of Serena,
Serena? Was
the blonde?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't like her.
Yeah.
I didn't like her, not one bit.
And she wasn't even that Serena-y in this episode either.
But still a little bit, though.
But a little bit. Typical.
She just has this like her face, like you could see it. I don't want to be too judgmental, but you could see it like in her face. Why I don't like
Okay.
her.
Okay, interesting.
Just like a look.
She also adds, I love the new segment list, and I had fun guessing which scenes worked with each word. Haha, hope you have another safe week. So thank you, Vic.
Thanks, Vic.
Thank you.
We have Del_Vasto on Instagram. Michael, he says, hey, Liz, Michelle, and Ant. Happy Thursday. I have a few questions for Ant and Michelle on this week's episode.
Oh yeah.
Questions for Ant. What were your first impressions and thoughts of the show? Were you lost starting midway through the second season? If you had watched this episode in real time, would it have made you want to tune into the following episodes?
I wasn't really lost. Obviously there's like a lot of characters, just piecing them together, but that came together kind of quick. So I don't know. I kind of got everything. But no, I don't think I'd watch another episode if I only just caught this one. I would not move on.
I could agree.
Especially, it was like the end of storylines too. So it's like, I don't know. I don't need to start a new thread with.
Yeah, there's no
people.
cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, I guess Chuck
Nah,
and Carter and
I guess
Blair,
the Chuck
but
thing,
you don't care enough.
Right,
so.
the
yeah.
triangle.
That thing does kind of is interesting to me. I do kind of want to see where that kind of stuff
I'll let
goes,
you know.
But yeah, please, keep me posted.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Maybe if there's an episode where all of that comes to a head and something really interesting happens with that, like I
Okay.
could just join in, watch again, maybe.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Something to consider. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay. He says, questions for Michelle. I already spoiled this, but do you think this is the last we'll see of Miss Carr?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That was quick.
Yeah, but
Enough.
Do you think it was necessary for the progression of the show? I mean, I guess it's hard to say because you've only ever seen up to this point. So I don't know if it should have occurred in this
I guess
show.
to be naughty, I wanted more pageant teacher sex. Like I really thought we were gonna wake
More
up
peen in the bean.
more peen in the bean. I thought we were gonna wake up the next morning and then be in bed or something.
Right. I know you predicted that we would just go from last episode straight into the next day.
Not that I approve of it. I'm just
Right.
saying I thought there would be more of it. The way they were so passionately hooking up. I don't know.
Totally. But no.
Right.
He says, will Blair give up that easily and accept that Yale is out of the question, or will she try some other means to get in?
I could see her trying other means to get in,
Yeah, totally.
but
From what I know of
not
Blair.
manipulatively because she's already done that and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe she'll do something as she's changing, and that will show good graces
Yep.
on her part.
I
Right.
can see that happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He says, still another episode without the mention of the mysterious half-brother. Michelle, do you think that plot is done, or will it be revisited?
No, I think it's definitely going to be revisited, and I'm hoping we get to meet the half brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He says, question for all three. Were any of you in any of the productions in your high school that they put on? If yes, were they as over the top as this one?
I only did stage crew in
I did not do any.
9th and 10th grade because I like that kind of stuff. And our plays when I was in high school, we did West Side Story,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember the others, but they were good, but not, like this.
Right. I was too
Yeah.
busy on the other stage dancing, not in high school.
Right.
Aunt?
I didn't see any of them.
And you weren't a part of any of them, I'm assuming.
I was not a part of anything in high school. Not even friendships.
Michael, were you? Let us
Aw.
know if you were in a play or if any of you guys were in plays in high school. He says, here's my reasoning for why I like Sag. I am going to get a little personal. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like
I'm here for
others, I can relate the most to Dan, especially in high school. And high school me, hell, even adult me, would totally fall for a woman like Serena. I totally get that.
Yes.
Her personality is a catch. She's loyal to her friends and family, like when she took the fall for going to rehab to protect Eric, and when she took the fall for Blair when she thought she was pregnant. Whereas I find Blair to be more about Blair and doing things that would, for the most part, benefit Blair and Blair only. Also, I can't get over how creepy first season Chuck is and how shitty he treats Blair. That's another reason why I am Team Sag. Dan, just like Seth, lived out of the dream of every nerdy kid in high school by having one of the most popular girls in school not only notice him, but date him too. Sorry, no headband counter for this week. I'll try to remember. Until then, M.
No, I think everything he said, and obviously it's his personal story, but it absolutely checks out, makes sense. Like, Serena, she is good. You know, she's always doing things for her friends, and she is good with her family. But for some reason, I'm just like, I don't know why I don't, like, Sag just bores me. And
Yeah.
Padge, for me, in terms of, like, the nerdy boy, I'm like, give me Seth Cohen.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
can relate. I just freaking relate more to Seth. I know, and I'm not saying, Mike, obviously, Mike, I love your story, and thank you for sending and all of that, because I don't want to be like, well, it's not the Michelle show right now. But you know what I mean? Like, because every week I'm like, okay. And to go back what Jess said, how she doesn't like any of their other relationships. So she roots for them. It's kind of like the default. Like, well, they worked the best. So I look forward to seeing who Padge dates, who Serena dates, because it's true. I mean, the others so far that Serena dated was like
Ugh.
awful.
The worst.
Yeah. So I hope to accept Sag. I think it's just they just bore me.
Yeah, they bore me too. And I'm trying to go back of me like circa 2009 watching. I don't remember how I felt about Serena and Dan. I totally don't remember.
Yeah, and I totally agree
Because
with
of
Mike.
the other couples that take precedent.
Right. But also to go back to what Mike said too is what how Chuck he can't get over how bad he treats Blair in season. I mean, I was such a Chuck hater season 1. I'm sure no
Yeah.
one's forgot, and still I'm like waiting for that redemption, buddy. Waiting for that redemption. And we see it a little bit. Like, I hate
Right.
him less, but I'm like, ugh, it's not right. Chuck did some gross things in season 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a lot of his money makes him think he has a lot of power because of his
Power,
money.
yeah.
And so he's always gotten what he wants, and so when people go against him, he gets very aggressive, and we don't like that.
Towards women.
Yeah, sure.
I
Yeah,
just
it's not good.
not
Yeah,
a fan
I mean,
of that.
I could tell that about him the moment I
Yeah.
saw him.
Yeah.
Every time you guys say Sag, by the way, like it makes me think of like the SAG Awards.
Oh,
You should
okay.
have like you should have the SAG Awards, and I don't know any of the logistics
Oh.
around it and how you do it or what it's about, but you should have it. The SAG
I think
Awards.
that's great. The Sag Awards.
So should we
because-
award them when we're liking with them, right?
Yeah, I think we should, or like like a pro, maybe just like a pro thing that Sag does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Even
Sag
though they're
Award.
broken up right now.
Yeah,
But
who
know.
knows? They
who
might
knows is right.
come circle again.
That was all we had on Instagram. We did get a quick email from our friend Sean. He gave me some 3 gossip words for the next coming week, but he says, I love this upcoming episode because it has a few scenes where it makes me laugh every single time. Plus, we're introduced to a few different people. I also want to thank you guys for helping me maintain my sanity during this weird time in our lives. XOXO. Thank you,
Aw,
Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for joining us and sending us your thoughts.
Yeah, and I think
Love it.
that is all the questions we had. So thank you to everyone who sent them our way. We love reading them on the podcast, obviously. Let's go into fashion. How many headbands did you have?
I had 2.
I had 3.
Okay, so at least it's last week I was totally low and did not up to par.
I counted, what's her name? Penelope's, because she was the maid. So she had 1. Blair had the 1 when she changed the last scene. And then I had Dorota. But there was also a girl in the front in the play that had the yellow headband.
That's who I counted.
Okay, yeah. So
Her and Blair.
I thought that I wrote Dorota as a cop-out.
Yeah.
I liked Serena's leather jacket.
Yes.
She's always got the best best jackets in general.
I love Dorota's pink robe.
Oh my gosh, she looks so cozy like a little teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
She's so cute. I have Serena's sweater when they were out to dinner. It had like glitter in it, and then it had like a glitter tassel around her neck.
Yes, it was a very interesting tassel.
It was weird. I'm like, I don't know where it's coming from.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I wasn't into it.
Okay.
I don't really have any other words to articulate around that.
Was there any fashion you were into?
No.
Okay.
I didn't like anybody's
cool.
fashion.
Oh, I love Vanessa's neon clutch.
I knew you would.
Love that. And
She's a lot of neon staples.
Yeah, and that's so on trend right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Loved Blair's outfit that she changes into after the play with the white shirt with the black lace on it and the skirt and the headband. I love that. So typical Blair.
Yeah.
I even loved her costume for the play and the way she wore her hair with like the low curled bun. She's
and
beautiful.
The brooch. I liked her brooch.
Yes. I had both Vanessa's plaid coat and Chuck's pinstripe trench.
Mm-hmm.
Liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Some quotes that you like?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in labor. Nelly Yuki.
Aren't you sick of brooding artists?
People aren't jealous of you, Blair. They hate you.
Ooh. Is today April Fool's?
I always want to believe the best in you, Blair, but bottom line is betrayal's in your nature.
Yeah, that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Miss Iowa. Gossip Girl said that.
You're like a kid who swears he hates tomatoes and has never even tried one.
I believe you, Miss Blair.
You've got a good heart. You should give it to somebody who cares.
There
Ouch.
was a quote where Blair said, "I'm an actress." And then I thought she said, "I'm a seagull."
She did.
She did.
I'm a seagull.
She did say that, right?
I think, and I was like, okay, I don't really know what that means, but
Yeah.
and I hate pretentious asshats who try to steal other people's girlfriends.
Student sex in the costume closet. Is that Heartland values?
She's got some of the best one-liners, and when we tally up, like when we're done with season 6 and all of the quotes, I bet you most of them come from Blair Waldorf because her wit is just, it's perfect. I mean, I don't know who's writing her lines, obviously, but
Right.
Definitely Josh Schwartz.
they're very witty.
Yeah. Short, quip, witty lines.
Yeah,
guess.
it's
That's my
almost
guess.
like a Sethism or like a Taylorism, but in a very bitchy way.
Yeah, mixed with like
Or
summer a
even
little bit.
summer. Yeah, definitely a little summer.
Yeah,
there.
summer.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do MVP and shittiest?
Yes.
Got the man?
Oh, I got him.
Okay. MVP
Yeah.
on 1.
Okay.
3,
3,
2,
1.
1.
Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa. Wait, who'd you pick?
Carter.
Carter.
My fave.
Liz, why'd you
Power
pick
moves.
Vanessa?
I chose her because I felt like she was a good friend to Serena. She helped her out. When Blair confronted her, she's just like, bitch, please, and walked away. I thought it was so funny. I love how she told Serena Julian was like a piece of shit. And she's like, why do you even like him in the first place? And then she put Nate in his place when he said that they were from 2 different worlds. She's like, no, you're just copping out here. That's bullshit. And I was like, yes, honey, give it to them. Love it.
I agree. And I also love how she did end up going to see him at the end.
Yeah, and then she's like, we can just watch ESPN and
Yeah.
cuddle. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Right?
Loving it. Love Vanessa in this episode.
What do you like most about Carter, Aunt?
I don't know. I just like the way he just won. He just won in this episode.
He's
You
my
know,
sister, yo girl.
Yeah, he was a step ahead every single time.
Right? It's true.
It's true.
You know,
You're very
so
correct with that.
I like that in a character, like when they're like a step ahead, and like the person who thinks they're like they're great, or I don't know, whatever people think they're great, you know, and they just get beaten down. It's nice. It's good. I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad we could appease you, Aunt.
Thanks.
Shittiest?
Yeah.
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Chuck.
Rachel.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead,
why'd
Aunt.
you
Why'd
pick
you pick Chuck?
Because he's the loser. He's the loser to the person who won. So
Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
the truth is that like I didn't feel enough about the other characters. I liked that storyline the most. Like I think I just like I said before, like I was most interested with that
Because the Illuminati.
because the Illuminati thing and like the fact that that kind of whole power thing really exists.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he thinks he knows what he's doing like in this like realm, but he has literally no idea.
That's true. He's good at niche things, like getting people to do things for him that are like beneath him, but when it comes to like his
Right.
peers,
He's so green in the whole thing, so he's just got a lot to learn, and it seems like Carter knows more than him right now.
Yeah, definitely. Carter is actually a year older than them too, so he does technically have worldly knowledge more than Chuck.
And he
A year
travels.
more.
I mean, he was
He
just
travels,
in
yeah.
Singapore.
He's always on other places. Michelle, Rachel.
Yeah. For obvious reasons, but the fact that she did take down Blair, like I understand that this person tried to take you down and try to ruin your career, but you went through with it and slept with a student, and then you ended up going the next step and sending Gossip Girl, who you claim you never heard of. Last week she's like, "What's Gossip Girl?" And I'm like, "Bitch, you're Gossip Girl. I read right through you. You're Gossip Girl.
Bish, you know
Bish,
exactly
you know.
who Gossip
You
Girl
know
is.
because you are." So that's why.
Okay.
Bish.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like stooping really lower than your students is just ridiculous. And then I feel like she wasn't even using her brain, like giving
No.
Jenny the key and the envelope and them with the notes. I'm like, you're supposed to be much smarter than this. I'm sorry. Everything just seems really stupid to me.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah. All right, so it's time for our patron of the week.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
It's patron of the
It's
week.
patron of the week. It's
patron
It's patron of the week.
Who will it be?
It's patron of the week.
Patron of the week this week is our new pledge, Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yes, I read on Let's Talk OC on Monday the message she sent us on Patreon. It was so sweet. But I called her sort of keeping up with the Kels.
Keep it up with the cows.
Like keeping up with the Kardashians. You guys get it.
Yeah.
Because she's keeping up with our podcast. She's been listening nonstop because she works overnight and it's what's been keeping her going. And we can't thank her enough for pledging with us. And we're just so happy to have you with the network. And we love that you're already liking things and participating. It's so much fun. And I hope that you stick with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle, it's that time of the night where you can disintel what you think is going to happen. I'm going to give you our 3 gossip words for
Yes.
next week.
Okay.
3 gossip words.
Title for next week is The Grandfather. And those 3 gossip words are trip, legacy, and spiral.
Shit. Okay. So I think that Carter is going to take Blair on a trip,
Okay.
and I'm not sure where. The grandfather, is this based off The Godfather? Is this where the inspiration came
Yes.
from? Okay. So I think they'll go to. I mean, do I want to say grandfather? I don't even know. Did they mention if Blair has grandparents?
They
is this-
haven't.
Okay, so maybe they go see a grandparent, and because she has a long line of Yale in her family, right on her dad's side. Well, her dad went to Yale.
Her dad
Howie.
went to Yale.
Yeah.
Little
So
souls.
Hi, Mama. It's like, who is she
Oh,
talking
and here
to?
comes Liam.
Here comes Liam. Yeah, so maybe they go and talk, and she's getting close with Carter. Even though Blair, maybe she is changing, I could see her hanging out with Blair because she's going to work on herself, and so emotionally she can't deal with Chuck.
Okay. Yeah.
So now Chuck's ready, but guess what? Blair's heart's not ready.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got to get into
Great.
college first.
Great prediction with that.
So with that, I think Chuck's going to spiral a little bit because it's like, holy shit, now Carter is with his girl.
Mm.
And so now Chuck will spiral a little bit. Plus, we have to figure out this whole secret society thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carter's a part of it, so.
Right, exactly. So it all ties in. And then, so the thing is, like, Padge and Serena, they're both kind of starting fresh now
Yeah.
because they are broken up, but they are getting along. Because
Right.
they're never really, like, there have been times when they don't speak, but I feel like right now they both have this mutual understanding, like, hey, we didn't work together, but we don't hate each
And
other.
we did have a quick scene, too, we didn't really mention, but Dan does go up to Serena and say,
Yeah.
it was Rachel who did this. And so she said, okay, well, thanks for telling me. Like, they just
Right.
had, like, a mutual understanding.
So I'm not really sure what's going to happen there because, I mean, I think it's going to be more focused on like the Blair and the Carter and the Chuck spiral situation. I am just hoping selfishly that we have Lily because Aunt didn't get to meet her.
I know.
And
Lily's
she's
so
my
great.
favorite.
No.
Yeah, but those are my predictions with your words.
Okay, great. So now that you've predicted all of that, do you have an inkling of who you think Gossip Girl is?
Well, of course I want to say Carr again because the bitch literally, like everything Gossip Girl talked about was because of Rachel.
Yes.
But now that she's going back to Iowa, but like, is she though? Or is she just going to remain? And was she ever in Iowa or is she always around? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Grasping at straws.
Right. Exactly. So, you know what? I'm
Unfortunately,
going,
she has to grasp at straws at this
I
point.
have to. Can
No,
you,
I know.
Now that you know. So Aunt looked up who Gossip Girl is.
I did. Truth.
And so now that
I'm
you
gonna lord it over you.
Yeah, but now that you know, it's so hard to make a prediction.
Why? I'm not even listening.
What?
What do you mean?
No,
What?
I'm telling you how hard it is for me to make a prediction.
Yeah, I don't envy you. That's why I needed to know. That's why I looked it up.
Eh.
I was like, I can't live with this.
Are you happy with it?
I'm not. I'm not even making a comment about it, Michelle.
Yeah,
No
it's
comment.
best off no comment.
Yeah, don't come to me with that.
All right, I'm just gonna go with Carr again
Okay. It's
because
understandable.
she literally was Gossip Girl in this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Well, thank you for joining us, Anne. I hope this experience was fun for you.
Oh, it's always fun.
Okay, I'm glad.
It's always fun to be on the podcast.
Podcast. We love
Podcast.
our husband. He always
Yeah.
gives us interesting feedback and generally has the opposite opinion of what we do, so it makes for good content.
Sure does.
And we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you like what you're hearing and you are an Apple Podcast user, then definitely give us a review. 5 stars is cool. If you want to head over to our Patreon page, maybe you want to join our Netflix parties on Thursday. We live stream the episodes and we have a great, awesome group chat with everyone. If that's something that interests you, you can go over to ittakes3network.com and make a little pledge. And you can reach us on our socials, 3 Gossip Girls Pod on everything, even on Gmail. And we will see you next week for The Grandfather. You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.